Have you ever wondered about those invisible forces that seem to shape your entire digital life? From the movies that just pop up on your streaming service to the perfect route your map app finds. Well, today we're diving deep into the architects behind it all, AI agents. I mean, seriously, think about it for a sec. You're driving, you pull up your map, and it tells you to get off at the next exit because there's a traffic jam 2 miles ahead that you can't even see yet. How does it know that? How does it make that call for you in real time? Well, it's not magic, even though it sure feels like it. The answer is an AI agent. This is the core technology quietly working behind the scenes, making countless little decisions every single second just to make our lives run a whole lot smoother. Okay, so what in the world is an AI agent, really? If we want to understand their power, we've got to start with the blueprint. This is the foundation for, well, everything else we're about to talk about. So, at its heart, an AI agent is an autonomous system. And it's just a fancy way of saying it acts on its own. It perceives its environment, through data or sensors, uses that info to make a decision, and then takes an action to hit a very specific goal. This isn't like a simple program that just follows a rigid set of rules. Nope. An agent is dynamic, it's adaptive, and this whole process is basically a nonstop feedback loop. It's simple, really. First, it senses the world by grabbing data. Then it thinks by processing all that data to figure out what to do. And finally, it acts on that decision. Sense, think, act. It's a cycle that just repeats and repeats and repeats. And don't get me wrong, this isn't just some cool tech concept. It is a massive, massive economic engine. The whole AI industry, which is pretty much powered by these agents, is projected to be worth a mind-boggling $1.8 trillion by 2030. That's the kind of value we're talking about here. So now that we know what an agent is, let's kind of pop the hood and take a look inside its cognitive engine. How does it actually go from just sensing the world to making a really smart decision? It all happens in 5 key stages. Let's use a self-driving car, because it's a perfect example. First, perception. Its cameras and sensors see a red light. Simple enough. Second, understanding. It identifies that red thing as a stop signal, not just a red circle. Third, decision-making. It figures out that the right thing to do is stop. Fourth, action. It actually applies the brakes. And fifth, and this is the really crucial part, learning. It logs that entire experience, which reinforces the correct behavior for the next time it sees a red light. And that learning step, that's the secret sauce. See, agents aren't static. They're literally designed to get better. Every single interaction, every new piece of data they get just makes them smarter, more accurate, and way more aware of the world they're operating in. So what is it that gives an agent its power? You can almost think of its key characteristics as personality traits, or maybe even its superpowers. These are the core things that define how it works and what makes it so darn effective. There are really 4 core powers we need to get our heads around. First, you've got autonomy, the power to act on its own. Then there's reactivity, which is all about responding to what's happening now. And its counterpart, proactivity, that's about planning for the future. And finally, social ability, which is its skill in communication. Let's break them down. Let's start with autonomy. This one is a big deal. It's the ability to make and carry out decisions without a human constantly telling it what to do. That self-driving car deciding exactly when to speed up or hit the brakes based on what it sees, that's autonomy in action, right there. Now, let's put reactiveness and proactiveness side by side. Reactiveness is all about the present moment. A smart thermostat feels the room get too cold, so it kicks on the heat. That's a simple reaction. But proactiveness, that's where the magic happens. Your map app sees a traffic jam forming miles down the road and reroutes you before you even get close to it. It's anticipating what's coming, not just responding to what's already here. And that proactiveness, that's where so much of the value is. And finally, we have social ability. And this one is huge. It's an agent's ability to interact with others. Think about a healthcare chatbot. It has to communicate with a person to understand their problem, and then it has to collaborate with a totally separate scheduling system to book an appointment. It's a digital team player. So, we've talked a lot about what one agent can do, but what happens when you get a whole team of them working together? Well, that's when things get really, really powerful. This is what's called a multi-agent system, or MAS. Basically, it's an entire ecosystem of agents that are coordinating their actions. Think of it like a pro sports team. Each player or agent has a special role. But by working together, they create this incredible collective intelligence, something way greater than what any single agent could ever pull off on its own. And we see these systems all over the place, a lot of times without even realizing it. Online marketplaces where agents are automatically negotiating prices, or those giant warehouses where swarms of robots coordinate deliveries perfectly. Even smart cities are using them, with traffic agents all talking to each other to optimize the flow of cars across the whole grid. All right, for our last section, let's go check out some agents in the wild. We're going to see how the biggest companies in the world are using them today, and we'll touch on what that might mean for our future relationship with this technology. Let's kick things off with Google. They've basically built their entire company into a massive ecosystem that runs on specialized AI agents. When you're on YouTube, there's an agent personalizing your feed. When you're in Gmail, another agent is proactively trying to finish your sentences with Smart Compose. And of course, in Google Maps, an agent is constantly sensing traffic to optimize your route. You can see all the core powers we talked about right there. It's reactive, it's proactive, and it's all happening with complete autonomy. And next up, you've got Amazon. They use agents to power their gigantic automation infrastructure, everything from the smart speaker in your kitchen to their worldwide supply chain. Alexa is a fantastic example of that social ability. On the website, you've got other agents being proactive, trying to guess what you're going to buy next. And behind it all, you have that huge multi-agent system managing the entire supply chain. It's this incredible, invisible infrastructure of collaboration. So, here's the most important point, the big takeaway. We are living through a fundamental shift. AI is evolving from being just a simple tool that we tell what to do, like a hammer, into a cognitive partner, something that can perceive, reason, and act right there with us, basically boosting our own abilities. And that leaves us with one last, pretty fascinating question to think about. As these AI agents continue to evolve from tools into true partners, the real question isn't just about how they're going to change, it's about how we are going to evolve right along with them.